Well, hello there and welcome to issue number 142, and this issue is all about the Sagittarius Rooster. And as you can see on the caption prior to this video, those are all the dates you have to be in this Western and Eastern astrological combination. If there's any messages or anything you want to say about the video, please feel free to drop me a line, and any feedback is very welcome. And let's get started then with the Sagittarius Rooster. Now, we've spoken about the Sagittarian. Very misunderstood. You know, they're just seen as a fire sign, so that naturally makes them quite an exuberant child, quite a risky, you know, runs about, likes its sport, very sporty. Well, it's not strictly true with the Sagittarian. The Sagittarius is a very, very intelligent child and a very, very deep thinking child. And if we move the Rooster into the equation, so the year of the Rooster is when this Sagittarian's born, then you find a little bit of a tougher edge in there, harder edge in there, but also a confirmation of their philosophical way. They analyse everything. So you've got your Sagittarius Rooster going into school. They might laugh and joke, they might try and hide their feelings a little bit, but really deep down they're analysing absolutely everything and everybody. Little slights against them, they really do take seriously, they take to heart. They will analyse why that happened, and they can be quite introverted. They pretend to not be. They tend to put a smile on their face like roosters tend to do, but that's all that's doing is hiding the real what's going on. So they tend to just laugh and joke it off, but they can get hurt quite easily. It's quite, you know, when you say about the tough rooster, yes, they're hard-edged, but they have got a deep sensitivity in there, and once you get through to it, it does knock them quite badly, and they can go away and they're very introvert, and then they can think, well, why did that happen? Why, you know, what did I do? What, you know, and that's what, if you get that in motion, then the Sagittarian starts to question it as well, and then the Sagittarian starts to think, oh, I'm not sure about the world of today, I'm not sure about the society, and then they go on this long route of philosophical thinking about how the world's not going the way it should have gone, and why are people bad to each other. You start to get this in this child quite young. They get to 7, 8, 9 like that, and they're thinking these things. Okay, they might seem a little bit in class, as I say, smiling, joking, pretty easy going, but there is this hidden quality to them where they will like to go away, be introverted, be on their own, or just be with one real close friend, and just think, and just really sort of work things out. They really need to find that in themselves, because once the Sagittarian, you know, once they can kick in on these, the world's a bad place, they can start to get quite low quite quickly, and that's when we see that negative side of the Sag coming out. We want the really big, expansive side of the Sag coming out, where, yes, they're looking into the world, but they're looking into how do we solve the world's problems. Let's try this, let's try that, when they're very proactive. When we get the Sagittarian thinking, whole of society's finished, then they go inward, then they get very introvert, they get very big mood swings, and with the Rooster in play, analysing, very fussy, checking for, you know, things that are wrong, but minute things. They study everything to the minutest detail. Then you're thinking, how on earth are these guys going to get out of this? How on earth are these girls going to get out of this? They're in their dark mood swings, they can stick in a rut, you know, smile when they have to, and then go home and they're sort of just looking around thinking, my goodness, you know, what is going to make this a better place? Well, that stays with them for a long time. And when you think the Sagittarian Rooster is finished, you don't think they're going to be coming out again in their spare time. Boom, they turn up, they're on a motorcycle, they're saying, where are we going? It's the ability here of the bounce back. They are the bounce back kings. You know, Rooster can be plummeting to the depths of themselves, and you think, geez man, they're finished. They are not coming out of this rut. And then they're back, they're exuberant, and they're ready to go again. And then you slowly see them plummet again, getting darker and darker and darker, and they bounce back again. This is what you're going to have for this sign, bouncing up and down with deep emotions, very deep emotions. What they need to do, they really need to channel this. I want to get them proactive. I want to get them involved in sports, because sports does take their mind off some of this deep thinking. Their parents will realise this as well. If we get them involved in sporting activity or whatever they love to do, you know, whether it's basketball, football, netball, anything, get them involved in that, because it is a respite from this thinking, this analysing. They really love being involved in that game. They love that. They zone in on that. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to be able to break the cycle. When you see them going in like this, and people will notice it, you've got to be able to break the cycle. You've got to say, right, we're going here, we're going to play this, and that's the way you've got to play it with these guys, because when they tunnel in, yes, they will bounce back, but it's waiting for that bounce back. You know, the Rooster is mythical in that sense, where they do just, you know, and everyone will look around and go, I thought you were finished, I thought you know what I mean, I just didn't know what happened to you. You know, they can turn their lives around like that, but they can drop again. So you've got to remember the troughs and flows of the Sagittarian Rooster. So we need to get them involved with people who can notice this darkness coming on, can change their way of thinking and get them thinking in a positive sense, going, right, how are we going to change this? Someone who's going to work with them, make them feel good about society, because when the Sag is feeling good about society, everybody benefits. You see that lovely, expansive, humanitarian, you know, really, really kind, caring, and they really want everyone to be happy, and they try their best to make everybody happy, and they like every day to be a party. Then when they're feeling good, and they say, no, this is it, we've got this down to a T, we're working as a team, everyone seems to be good, society, people are saying hello to me, you know, and everybody feels good when they're feeling good. And especially with the Rooster, the quirky eccentricness of the Rooster comes in and gives them a nice bit of a step, and gives them a nice gaiety where they're bouncing about and they're thinking, what's next? So that's what we need to get to, and we need to stop that route for the darkness. And who can do this? Well, the parents are very key here, because if they can spot these early, you know, it can happen as early as the teenage years when they're plummeting. It really genuinely can. So you can, in the early years of the teenage, so you've got to be watching that. But also, siblings, it's very important that they realise that not all society is bad, and we can make a difference. Things like this, you know, it's quite good to keep newspapers away from them when they're very young. They see just bad stuff in it, and it can start them get thinking, oh my goodness, look what's going on, you know. So it's quite good. Newspapers out the window, don't let them near the news, because you know what the public's like for, you know, scaremongering, etc. So we have to watch things like that. Okay, so we need the right partner for them, for when they're ready for a relationship. Get them in a relationship early. That is the greatest thing for the Sag Rooster. Meet that, you know, that sweetheart, childhood sweetheart even. Meet them and carry that relationship through, because the stability of the relationship really does eat up some of that sort of philosophising and analysing. Okay, they might analyse their partner a bit, but not as much. They'll be very sort of expansive in their love, and so it will take their mind away from stuff, and they see that the partner's a good person and they're doing good stuff together, so there's no need to get down. So let's get them in early. Later teenage years, you know, they're ready for commitment, they're ready for a long term, you know. Who's going to be attracted to the Sagittarian Rooster, and vice versa? Who's going to sort of, you know, take their eye, lift them out of this gloom and think, oh, not just another one that's going to, you know, we've got to, you know, get them positive thinking. And the ones that can do this are the snakes. Now, we spoke about the snake and the Rooster. It's the ideal match. The snake, because it's adaptable. It can wrap themselves around the Rooster. It can really philosophise with them to the early hours. It can talk great stuff. It backs up plans. It's very, very defensive, the snake, as well. So they're very, very protective of their Rooster. They're like, no, come on, we can do this. And when you've got the snake on your side, you know you've got a serious competitor. You know you've got somebody Okay, they've got a beautiful charm, they've got a beautiful smile, but they're serious cookies. And the Rooster feels like, hey, when I'm with this person, this means business. So that's a wonderful match. So let's go for the Aquarius snakes, the Aries snakes, the Leo snakes, and the Libra snakes. They're the best matches of the snake family. And also the oxen. The oxen, because as we spoke about, the oxen is rigid, and it might seem to you that the rooster with their plummeting up and down, and how would the ox see this? The ox stands strong. The ox is so yielding in the sense of they take love and they give love, and it's very secretive, it's very private. They like their little rhythm and routine. They get the rooster into a routine, which is fantastic for the rooster. The oxen is a good person, they're a good, strong person. It gets the respect of the rooster. The rooster knows they're dealing with people's, some of life's good people, and they feel, I feel my confidence is there, and it's all about that. It's all about thinking, getting that bond, getting that togetherness, so these dark thoughts don't come in. The oxen is very strict like that as well. They say, right, we've got to work now. We have our meal now. There's not the time to allow negative stuff to come in. And if anyone's negative with the oxen, they're very good at shutting it off, shutting down the things, and saying to the rooster, forget that, that's unimportant. The rooster needs that. They need them guidelines to stop them fussing and analysing. So let's go for the Aquarius ox, the Aries ox, the Leo ox, and also the Libra ox. Fantastic matches. And although we've got one of the gentler spirited roosters with the Sag, it's still no go with any rabbits. Although there will be a softer yield, they might seem a little bit not so hard edged because of this little bit of melancholy that can creep in. And the rabbit might be lulled into thinking, they're a little bit gentler. But you've got to still remember, this is a tough rooster. They will say harsh stuff. They will be frank. When they're low and you can't dig them out of it, they will let you know. They'll let you know what they think of you, and it's going to make the rabbit hurt. And then the rabbit gets spiteful as well. So they end up just bickering and causing a lot of anguish to each other. So please avoid each other. On a health note, with the Sag rooster, well, it's going to have to be mental again, I'm afraid. I always say this with Sag, keep talking and keep trying to release these demons that you can cause great things with your mind, but you know that's your biggest enemy as well. So we've got to be careful of depression, we've got to be careful of stuff like that, anxiety disorders. As always, if we get the right person, you get the people knowing around you, your family, which is the major issue here, your partner, get them knowing around you, and then they will get you through as well. So it's just being open, not just smiling when you're a bit low, telling them the truth. Okay, well, thank you for joining me for this issue, and please join me for the next one. Thank you.